Crypto is out, gold and silver is in. Or is it? Should it be? Could it be? Would it be? Would it be better just to have both? Well, we're going to talk about that today. But Bluebird Pow, make sure you buckle up because we got some big things we're talking about today in Operation Golden Crypto. All right, so the crypto market has done one of its wavy rides up and down, which is pretty standard for the crypto market. Gold and silver have been holding pretty strong again. They do a little bit. None of these things are blowing up right now, currently, as we speak. But there's a lot of concerns with everything that's going on right now. In my last video, I talked about the lumber shortage. I talked about the fact that it's not actually a lumber shortage. I talked about some of the conspiracies around it. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out that video. I'll leave it up here in the cards. I really break things down in depth in that video. But in this video, I want to talk about gold, silver, and crypto and which one should you be leaning towards. Now, the great thing about gold and silver is it is a physical asset. Don't ever buy paper gold and silver. If you do, mining stocks through gold or silver mining stocks through speculation is how I really got into the stock market years ago, investing. And that's an okay way because you're not investing in the gold and silver, you're investing in the mining companies. And I actually did pretty good with that. Or physical gold and silver. Don't buy fake gold and silver like most commodities that can be delivered, because the problem is, do you know that there's a law that allows these companies to sell 1 bar of gold or 1 bar of silver 99 times? It's the exact same law that allows a bank to loan out $1 99 times. 100 times is illegal, but you don't have it 99. So if I have 1,000 bars of gold that are virtual, that I own them, they can actually leverage that up to 99 times and they make 100% of the profit and I get nothing, and they're leveraging my asset. And if they fail and go out of business, then I'm holding the bag. Well, actually, I'm holding air because they don't even have the bag of mine to give me. It's a nightmare. The banking laws are nightmares. Now, I talk a lot about privacy on this channel. As you already know, we believe privacy is a right here at Privacy X, and it's a right that needs to be defended. The government is actively trying to take that right away from you, but Privacy X, we fight back. PrivacyXproject.com. You can check out some of the projects we're working on over there. But what I want to tell you guys about this is having physical gold and silver is an actual store of value and store of money. The dollar should have never left the gold standard, but it did, and it's never coming back because the dollar is closer to not being the world reserve currency. There's active trade going on right now in the European Union to try to make a one world currency. Now, sounds crazy, but with cryptocurrency, it's happening. Now, China recently introduced a cryptocurrency through the communist China that is controlled by China to replace their monetary system. Sounds insane, but you're thinking, oh, well, that's communist China. Not here in America. We would never do such a thing. Well, guess what? They got the Fed coin that they're getting ready to launch. And when they launch that, it is going to directly combat. It's going to be a direct competitor with cryptocurrency in general. And then they're going to start cracking down on some of these cryptocurrencies. I've already talked about this. Some people will say, well, Cody, crypto brings in too much tax revenue. The government does not care about tax revenue. A government that has the world reserve currency and can literally print as much money as they want to, they have no regard for the debt. There is endless debt. In fact, the debt calculator at this point, you might as well laugh and just delete it because it doesn't matter. This money is never getting paid back ever under any circumstances. It's not possible. We literally don't have one day where we're in the black. America spends 100% of its time in the red. We lose money every single day. Every day we wake up, we're losing money. We go to sleep. Another day in the red. The debt calendar, the debt calculator, the debt payback structure, it's all irrelevant. It's never going to happen. So when you have a system like this, tax revenue is a way to control people. It has nothing to do with bringing in money, not the way you think. Because frankly, they want to lessen tax revenue. They want to go for a socialist system like they have in some other countries. And that way, the government can control more of the resources and make money that way. Instead of making money off the people, they want to control the people and make their money off the resources. Now, with the one world currency, that becomes an issue. It sounds pie in the sky and conspiracy, and I hate conspiracy theories up until the fact that they've been doing this for years. I mean, not just people that all the Bilderberg group. Forget the Bilderberg group. They've got open they've got open meetings that these world leaders attend constantly, where that's their core objective. It's right out in front of you. It's hidden in plain sight. And they've been working on this for a long time. And they've got you massively distracted with everything that's going on right now. It's similar to why a lot of the biggest bills in this country, like the Patriot Act and these kind of bills, why are they always passed at midnight on Christmas Eve? Why are they always passed at 2 in the morning on a holiday weekend? Because no one's paying attention, and by the time you are, it's too late. It's already, well, let's move on. Our government has done this historically forever. They've always done this because they're afraid of the uproar from the people, so they try to do, it's like a magician. You know, it's like a magician. You look over here, but I'm doing the magic over here. It's the exact same thing. The United States government is the best magician, better than Copperfield, better than Blaine, better than Angel, way better. They're masters of sleight of hand and masters of misdirection. Everything they do is a lie. So when you look at gold and silver, it has been a stable source of continued a hold for your actual wealth. It is a store of wealth, a store of value, a real one. It is something that worldwide, universally stores value. And it actually makes all monetary systems irrelevant because it is something that is internationally known as valuable worldwide. It is actually the perfect currency. And we already had the perfect currency when our dollar was backed by gold. But we're like, nah, that's not good enough. So now when we have cryptocurrency, the problem with crypto is it is getting regulated. It is in the, I talked about in a recent video how the DEA now has an organization to monitor crypto, and there's already bills in place where they're going to regulate crypto. And when they do that, the value of crypto, when it starts becoming a security, when it starts becoming something that is tracked and monitored, and it's no longer going to have these big swings, and it's no longer going to be is attractive to the average investor, and the bottom's going to fall out because the long-term investors, crypto, oh, I'm going to invest in long-term. But it's not going to have these giant jumps. The reason they have these giant jumps is Elon Musk makes a tweet and it goes through the roof, or a bunch of hedge funds invest and so people fall. Dogecoin is a perfect example of how communities get together. That stuff that happened with GameStop is a perfect example. GameStop stock. The perfect example of when communities come together and make something happen. But of course the government said, oh, that should be illegal. Of course, but when you do it, it's not. When the people do it, it is. So the thing with gold and silver is you can't manipulate it because they can't control it because they can never have it all. You can literally go out there and mine it and it become a thing. Whereas with crypto, they can control. Now, you might be saying, well, they can make it illegal. You're correct. They can make anything illegal. They've tried. They can literally make everything illegal. They can make the air you breathe illegal. But at a certain point, they can never technologically control gold the way they can with crypto. And that's the problem. There's only a couple cryptocurrencies that they can't actually attack. And you say, well, they could never get your crypto. If you're on an exchange, they absolutely can. So you have to, and over 80% of people keep them on exchanges. So yeah, they can. So you have to keep it stored away, similar to gold. If you've got your gold in a safety deposit box, absolutely they can control it. So you need to understand the process of where things are going. The dollar is losing value because it is so artificially injected with adrenaline. Where does the dollar, and I'm not even talking about a crash. Everyone's talking about a crash. Do you realize that we're at such a bad spot in America that even if we normalize, even if we take our economy back to where it was 2 years ago, which is one of the best economies we've ever had, it would fall apart because you can't re-inject everything we had. It can't artificially be done. So what do we do? What do we do? Well, we keep pumping in fake money. This is going to keep destroying the dollar. That's why taking your money out of the dollar is good. Now, would I recommend diversifying in crypto like Monero and Pirate Chain? Sure. Because at least you have a safe investment. Would I invest in other things like Bitcoin and all these other coins? No, a bad idea because eventually the bottom's going to get taken out of those because they're controlled. Whereas at least with Monero and the Pirate Chain, they're not currently controlled and manipulated, and same thing with gold and silver. So it gives you options. Is crypto going to be here long term? I have no idea. Nobody knows. People who love crypto say yes. People who hate crypto say no. The honest truth is nobody knows, but I do know that over the next year, it is going to be regulated at a way that it's never been regulated before, actually at a way that really nothing has ever been regulated before. And that's the problem. When this regulation barrels down on it, it's going to take these Wild West, invest and make a bunch of money out of crypto, and then all these micro investors, which are what's pumping it up, are going to leave, and then the big money won't be in it the same way. It'll be like investing in a stock, and over time it'll go up, and that's great. That's great. But it's not going to be what it was. It's going to take that market apart, and that's the problem. You see gold and silver as an actual store of wealth, whereas crypto just is not in long term, because crypto can be manipulated and controlled in a way that physical cannot. Say, well, you can mine crypto in theory. But again, if you're going to do crypto, which I recommend, doing a privacy coin like Monero and XRP, Pirate Chain, ARRR, Pirate Chain. That would be the direction I would go. But that's just me. What do you think? Are you on gold and silver, or are you still all crypto all the way? There's a lot of dummies out there that are like, there's too much tax revenue in crypto. That is irrelevant. This government does not care about tax revenue. They are trying to implement a socialist structure with UBI and all these other things. Now, UBI at its base is not technically socialism, but it is a gateway to socialism. It's kind of like if a 21-year-old takes their first drink of alcohol, are they an alcoholic? No, it's just a taste of alcohol. But if they develop a taste, go find that person in 3 years. Some of them will be just fine, and some of them will have a massive drinking problem, and they'll be drinking alone every night, going through a bottle of whatever. Started with a taste. UBI gets, you say, oh, it makes the economy better. No, it doesn't. Extra money is not the problem. That doesn't, it's the same people who say, well, raising the minimum wage. When you raise the minimum wage, you raise the price of cost of doing business, which means you end up right back where you started, actually in a worse position, because we're playing with bigger numbers. If McDonald's pays people $9 an hour and you raise it to $15 an hour, do you think they're still going to have, what is a McDonald's? I don't eat McDonald's, but what does it cost? Let's say you can get a McDonald's hamburger for $2. Well, if you add that much more to the wage, the hamburger is not going to be $2, it's going to be $2.50 or $3. So what have you done? You've effectively increased the price of everything. That's not the answer. That's not how economics work. But a lot of people don't understand that. And then you've taken the bottom, because if you raise the bottom, but you don't raise the top, then if you've got a skilled welder making $20 an hour, but a burger flipper's making $15, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that you'll have this welder making 20, 25, and you'll have a burger flipper making 15. And where do you go from there? Paying burger flippers $18 an hour after they've been there for a couple years? Are you kidding me? Then you're going to spend, $11 for a Happy Meal. Okay. Otherwise, nobody's going to go there, or the price of everything has to go up drastically to be able to afford to pay those workers. And this is the deranged mentality of a lot of these people who are always talking about raise the prices of everything. Oh, if we just inject money. Problem is, if the government is always injecting money, you have an artificially stimulated economy, and it doesn't work. The thing with gold is you can't artificially stimulate it because it has a fixed supply. Even with crypto, you can say, well, Bitcoin has a fixed supply. The problem with crypto is there's a million different crypto coins, and we can say, Bitcoin sucks. We can pivot from Bitcoin, and we could go to 2.0 coin. And we can say, this is the good one, and we can manipulate the supply, and we can do all this crap. This is the problem. With gold and silver, there's a finite number, period, and we're mining it to figure out how much we have, and that's it. There's a certain number above ground, there's a certain number below ground. You can't just make I'm going to make a new gold. No, you're not. So this is the issue that we run into. I think long term, we are not going to be back on a gold standard ever. It's never going to happen. I think long term, the dollar is going to continue to have its issues. And if the dollar can be weak enough, they can usher in a world reserve currency, which causes massive issues for this country. Now, when we talk about privacy on Privacy X, privacy is a right, and it's a right that needs to be protected. Issue one is the Constitution. The Constitution what allows all this to happen. If we usher in things like socialism and things like world reserve currencies, we no longer have a Constitution, and we currently have a president who said the Constitution is not absolute, which he's wrong, but he's trying to simultaneously pack the Supreme Court. If he says the Constitution is not absolute, packs the Supreme Court, gets the Supreme Court to go along with him, then the Constitution will not be absolute. Then we're screwed. Then there is no such thing as privacy. This is why privacy is a right that needs to be protected, but it goes further than just protecting yourself. It looks at the entire community, the entire country, the entire world. And I don't want to be all, over dramatic, be like, we're under attack. This is nothing new. But it's something that if the average person is sleeping on stimulus, they're not going to realize what's happening right in front of them. Anyway, if you haven't already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, put out new videos every single day here on Privacy X. Go all in everything you do, and I will see you tomorrow.